The sexual orientation was just, normal, but they were talking about gender identity, and that's where it got kind of confusing. Told us that around our age, and sometimes before we're in middle school, and sometimes after we're in middle school, we may start to question our identity, and we might start to question, like, if we are a guy or a girl, and, like, what we want to be. Like, I thought it was really pushed. Like, I thought they were kind of pushing an agenda. I don't want to question my identity because I know my identity.
After I talked to Pearl about it, I found out that they were encouraging them to question their identity. They repeated to the kids 3 times, has anyone in the room ever questioned their identity? And nobody raised their hand. Again, no, really, it's okay. Go ahead and raise your hand. And when no one did the 3rd time, he said, well, I'm sure some of you have felt like that, and it's okay that you don't want to raise your hand right now. I found out about the homework, that they were encouraging them to go online and look for gay, lesbian, trans groups, and that family homework was optional. Individual homework was the preferred method.
I saw Jason's post on Facebook. I hadn't really met him, but we're in the same small community. My grandson and his daughter are in the same school. You just don't think it would be that bad. But to hear it from a middle schooler and to hear her say those things, it's just felt very wrong to me.
I went into my 6th graders, I told my administrators I was doing this, and asked them what they experienced in the Flash program the day before, and most of them were confused. They had terrible misconceptions about what had been taught, I guess, and we're really glad that I asked them about it because they didn't get a chance to debrief. There were a few kids whose families talk about these sorts of things all the time, so they were comfortable, no big deal, but a lot of them came away with complete misunderstandings.
Before I talked to the school, I contacted many organizations and representatives, and no representatives got back to me. I wrote a letter to Betsy DeVos, and I got a response. The theme of that letter was politics is local, and start with your school board. And so I did, and I felt like I was walking into the lion's den a little bit. I figured when I went in there I was going to face a lot of criticism and opposition because it's a contentious subject, but people agreed with me.
He got a hold of the curriculum, and I got to see the curriculum. It was really hard to get a hold of the PE teachers. And we looked at it, and it really was a large portion dedicated to sexual orientation and gender identity, much more than the state law would require, and definitely not age appropriate.
Excluding overview and summary, there's 32 pages of this particular template that was being taught here, and 20 of those pages, 20 of 32 pages, were dedicated to gender identity, 62.5%.
I am a nationally board certified young adolescent science teacher, and so I've been trained in brain development and emotional and social development of kids through the young adult or adolescent years into older adolescence, and I have a pretty good understanding of what's age appropriate, both cognitively and emotionally, and this did not seem age appropriate. And the scientific background for the sexual orientation and gender identity material was really off. If they took the information that they were getting about what makes a male and a female human, from the Flash curriculum to a test in a biology or life science class, they'd fail the answers to that test. It doesn't match the science.
And so we went back the next school board meeting, which was in 2 weeks, and just continued to bring it before their attention. And the superintendent actually decided to stop the use of the curriculum.
Really thankful that he is our superintendent here and that we have someone that would listen to us, because I've never asked the school for anything, you know? I didn't want to go in there. I didn't want to go in there and complain, you know? But I had to say something, and he cared.
If you ask enough questions first, when you think something is off, you get closer to the truth, and so that's important. So that's part of the process. And then when you have done your research and you really believe you need to make change in a curriculum, you have the power to, you have the ability to, and you have the right to, because it's public education. And so you can get other advocates and allies to work with you. Go to the school board and talk to the school board and state your case in a clear and intelligent way, not high emotion, but based on research and true facts from the curriculum as compared to other curricula, then you can make a difference.
Nobody wants to go in and rattle the cage, but your kids are depending on you.